Okay, all right, so today we're talking about hosting a successful book release party. This could be a live event, it could be a virtual event. It is, we want to keep this evergreen, so we know things are happening in our world right now, but if you can do a live event where you are at. Okay, so just take it with a grain of salt at the moment, and know that if you cannot do a live event at the moment, that someday you will be able to do a live event. Okay, so this is just going to be a teaching on both. All right, so what we have here is we're going to have a checklist for you to take and utilize for your own event, and we're going to go through live events first, and then we're going to touch on the viral, using a Zoom or Facebook Live or something like that, or a Facebook group, so an online event. All right, first off, you need to know how much money you can spend. This can get out of hand if you let it, and so set a budget, and well, just try to stick to that budget. And the dogs are going crazy. Dan, would you go in the back room and take care of them, please? I put them in with Hera, our granddaughter. So anyway, and as I mentioned the last time, is if you are in the process of writing a book, whether it's your first, your third, your 10th, your 20th, it doesn't matter. Start talking about your book. Talk about your writing. Let people know. We want them to get excited about what you're doing. And if they don't know, they can't get excited. All right. So let them know. That's going to give them the first heads up that something is coming. Then you want to choose a date for your release party that is going to work for most people. If it's, the weekend of Thanksgiving, you're probably not going to get many people. So really consider what date you're looking at as far as, booking your event. The most important person, of course, that has to be there is you. So, of course, work around your schedule. Then if you're going to do a live event, there's many choices that you can choose as far as what venue to work with. I did mine at like a community center, at church. You want a place that's going to hold your estimated, guest count. You don't want to be squeezed in. You don't want to be too cold. You don't want to be too hot. You want something that's going to work for your group. Okay. And then this is kind of a fun one because you can choose a venue with an atmosphere that fits fits the content of your book. So if you have written a book that is a devotional, you might want to have it at a church. If you've written a book on wine, maybe a winery or a vineyard, that would be fun. So you can use your book to set the theme for your venue and for your decorations and things like that. Okay, so think outside of the box a little bit when you go to book a venue. Then order your party favors, bookmarks, things that are going to do more promotion for you at the event. So you want to hand out bookmarks with your book on it. You want to hand out push cards with your book on it. You want stickers if it's a children's book with your characters on it. Whatever it is that you give away. You could have napkins printed. You could have with your book cover. You could have, all of these things, but what you want to do is you really want to point at everything in one direction. And that one direction is getting people to purchase your book. Okay? So whatever decisions you make, have bit clover, that in mind. I'm going to have dog for, never mind, I'm not going to say that. Okay. All right. Let's see. Musicians. When I had my event, I hired just like a stringed instruments. There were a couple people, and they just lightly played in the background so that there was some sound, there was some noise in the background that so it wasn't just awkward silence at times. There was always something going. It just made for a very nice environment. So consider having music, some kind of a musician, a DJ, if you give them some direction. So of course, if you want to do the line dancing at your own party, if you're doing a Western, that's fine too. So hey, the more fun, right? All right, plan a menu. When I did mine, I took this way, way, way too far. I had a chocolate fountain. I had tons of finger foods and all kinds of stuff, and it was kind of ridiculous. But it was my first book, and I just kind of went over the top. Jana even went and she went shopping and found all of these antique dishes, and she built like multi-level trays and glued them together with all of these patterns. And while it was beautiful, it was a ton of work, and we had no idea what to do with all of it after the party was over. I certainly didn't have room in my house to store all of those kinds of dishes. So when you're planning a menu, think simple. Think the person that you are asking to take care of and keep track of the food for you. You don't want them to just be working like a dog all evening. You want them to be able to relax and have some fun too. So, or if your venue is a place that offers food, most likely they're going to want to be the ones to provide the food. They're not going to let you bring it in. So that might be dependent upon where you're actually having the event. Okay. And as always, if you have questions, type it in the chat, raise a hand, let me know, and I'll try to answer them as we go through. Okay. So, because there's so much that we could do here. I would use the easy is good. I know it doesn't look as pretty sometimes, but paper plates, easy cleanup for the end of the night, because whenever it is, you're going to be tired at the end. And you're going to want a couple of people to help, but you're going to be tired. So go easy. Invite everyone you know and people you don't know. It don't matter. Meet someone at the grocery store. If you're like me, I end up talking to people. Today I was picking up peaches, talking to people. If you're like me, invite people anywhere and everywhere, okay? Let them know what you do. Let's see. All right, here's a fun one. Some of us don't write under our legal names. So like my married name is Darlene Mawhinney. I write under Darlene Shortridge and I write under Lily York. So one thing I had to do is practice how I wanted those signatures to look. And because I had to be ready at our event this past weekend. If someone bought my Cozy Mysteries, I had to sign Lily York. If somebody bought my Christian fiction, I had to write Darlene Shortridge. And so practice those. You're going to be asked to sign those books. You're going to need to be ready to sign them because it's going to happen. All right. And don't forget pens on your book table. Make sure you've got some good pens that are good quality to be able to sign with. You don't want to be blotching up the inside of the paper on your book. You don't want to waste your books, trust me. All right. Order a banner. Dan, would you mind, I think you're still there, would you mind putting in where we get our banners from? We have a couple of banners. My banner is the oldest. It's Darlene Shortridge. It's got a very old cover on it, so it's years old, and it still works perfectly fine. I mean, and we got this thing for like $100. It's a stand-up banner that pulls up. So we will get you the link to that. They have excellent quality materials, and just you can't beat them. So we will get you the information for that site. Then get posters. Use, like I was saying above, use anything that you can to remind people that you wrote a book and this is a book release party and they're there to buy your book. So decorate with your banner, decorate with some posters, that kind of thing. If you're getting a cake, have someone do the spray thing that they do on top of the cakes and put your book cover on there. So in anything and everywhere you can use that book cover, do it. All right, Jana brought up a really good idea as far as like sponsorship goes. If you're writing a nonfiction book, especially, or a children's book that deals with a certain subject, there may be organizations out there that want to sponsor you and your book and get it out there, especially if what you've written lines up with what they teach. Okay, so that's something to think about. Hire a photographer, or if you've got a friend who's a pretty good photographer, have them be on photo duty. You want pictures of this event. You're going to use those pictures to keep the party going long after it ends. So the next day you can, oh, here's a couple more pictures from my release party. And then a couple days later, oh, here's another one. Look, this is so-and-so with whatever, okay? You got the idea. You want pictures. And you want pictures with people holding your book in their hand, okay? Let's see here. You want to put a good friend, someone who's outgoing, in charge of handling virtual attendees, because at your live event, you're still going to want to include people who cannot be there. So they can be doing Facebook Lives at the party, at the live party. And this way you'll be involving and being able to include people who cannot be there. All right, let's see here. Oh, make sure that you order either a Square or a PayPal reader or some kind of credit card processor that you can process credit cards at your event. So people are going to be paying you for your books. So you want to make sure you have a way to process their payments. Also, make sure you have change for cash payments. The next one is that big one. We talked a little bit about having that list last week. And so we want to make sure that we have a newsletter sign-up sheet available at your event. So they can sign up to get notifications when your next book comes out, or little whatever it is that you want to send out. Ask a friend to serve as hostess at the live event. This will free you up to just mingle and engage with people. That way, whoever this friend is, they can make sure that the punch doesn't run out, or the finger foods are taken care of, or there's plenty of napkins, or whatever needs to be done. So just have someone else in charge of the actual running of the event. Don't do it yourself. One thing that you want to have ready is you can get some like really cute gift bags and gift up a few of your signed books that people can buy to give as gifts to other people. So we want to encourage gift buying. So not only are they going to buy their copy, but then they're going to buy a copy or two maybe for friends. Okay. And if they look cute, all the more attractive. Send a press release to your local media outlets. When I did my first book, I sent a press release to our local newspaper. They ran a story in our newspaper, and they had someone come to the party. They're looking for local things and to do and to be. They want to have positive stories in their newspapers. So give them the opportunity. They can say no, but at least you asked. Okay. One of the things that we did for my parties is we had door prizes. It was just, you can run this in different ways. You can do a silent auction if you want to raise money. Say your book is about ADHD or childhood cancer or something like that, and you want to do like a silent auction to raise money. Well, not only is that going to bring more people to your event, but it's going to get them actively involved at the event to engage. Okay, so you can do something like that. You can just have regular door prizes where you draw a name every so often, and that also could be part of that newsletter sign up, where you have little forms that you could have them fill out, and then their name goes in, and then you draw a name, every half hour or every 15 minutes or something like that. And to get those prizes, of course, you could purchase them, but you could also approach local businesses for donations. I talked to business people that I knew, and all of the prizes that we had, save for like a Starbucks gift card, was donated. I had a person who sold Tupperware. They donated something. I had someone who, you know what I mean? So that kind of stuff. And then you've got prizes that you can actually hand out as door prizes. And then make sure that you are asking for volunteers to help clean up when the party's over. You do not want to be doing this all by yourself. You're going to be tired already from just mingling so much, you're just going to want help. So have a few people lined up, stack chairs, sweep floors, whatever it is that needs doing. So at the event itself, that was like prior to the event, what I just gave you. At the event itself, you're going to want to be there early. You're going to want a venue that you can get into early so your musicians can set up, so you can set up your beautiful display of books. And I'm just stating this, you are all business people. You are you are to be selling your books, not giving them away. Okay, that's just a little admonishment. It's people are there to buy your book. Give other stuff away. Okay, let them buy your book. I would provide name tags, and here's why: is you have all of these people coming into your party, and maybe it's just my age, I don't know, but I can just blank sometimes. And if you're flustered and you're getting all, you don't want to have any angst while you're at your own release party. So if people put on a name tag as they come in the door, if you space it out, you can glance real quickly and it'll be seamless. So no one will have to know you blank their name. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Do not give your books away. I'll say it again. So many authors, they give their books away, and they're physical books, the books that they're paying $3, $4, $5 a piece for, and they're just handing them out like they're candy. And it's like, you're here to make money, you're here to build a business. Then let's see here. At some point during the event, you're going to want to address your guests. So speech. If you don't want to give a speech, then you're probably not going to want to do a live event, but you need to thank people. All right. It's time, as an author, it's time to get over our fear of speaking. It is. I know that can be hard, and any of you who know me know it's not for me, but for some people it is. So I know that. You might want, thank them for, invite them to purchase your book, let them know they're over there, they're getting a special deal, and you're off, they're getting them inscribed to whomever, or however you want to word it, but just let them know it's a special thing. Okay. And if you want to, one idea is that you can plan to read a little bit from your book. You can do a little bit of a book reading and just kind of give an idea of what is in your book, so people know what they're getting if they don't know already. I think I mentioned this already when I said hire a photographer. I was like, get ahead of myself, but yes, take pictures with attendees holding their books. Another great idea is to set up like a little photo booth where you can have a little reading nook and your book's there where they can hold your book and do some pictures and invite them to share them on their own social media accounts. Okay, make sure you're mingling, make sure you're walking around and talking to people. You want to be friendly, you want to be outgoing, you want to be approachable, and because when people enjoy speaking with you, they're going to want to hear what else you have to say, and that means they're going to go pick up your book and take it home with them. Ask them at the event to leave reviews. You need to be outgoing on this. Just say, hey, everyone, it would help me so much. Thank you for being here and for supporting me. Thank you for purchasing my book. I have one more big favor to ask of you, and that is, would you please, when you finish reading my book, would you please leave an honest review on Amazon? And just make sure you include honest in there. Hand out your door prizes. Thank each person for coming, including the people who volunteered. Now, one thing that you can do is you can have games. Games could be, there's a whole list. We got a whole list of games coming up. So we'll go over those here in a minute. All right, let's talk about online. Now you can have an in-person, you can have an online, or you can have a combination of both. Okay, so you can be doing both at the same time. If you do both at the same time, you're going to need that online hostess. You're going to need the in-person hostess to be doing the event at the same time. Okay. All right. Again, some of these we're going to pass over real quick simply because they're going to be the same as the above. Determine your budget, build excitement, choose a date, order your party favors, create your Facebook event. I highly recommend you do it on Facebook. It works really well if you set an event and schedule an event on Facebook. Again, invite everyone ask friends to invite people. Remember, it's a Facebook, people can pop in and out, so it's not like you're asking them to get in a car and drive across town or fly somewhere. So, all right. Let's see here. Network. Go, if you're releasing a book on, say you're releasing a cookbook. You're releasing a cookbook and you want to find foodie groups on Facebook, and you want to go in and you want to start building relationships now. Okay, so not like the day before your release party, but now you're going to go in, you're going to start building relationships, you're going to just start commenting on things, start making friends, and then in a couple of months or whatever it is, when that release party is ready, then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, you guys, hey, my first cookbook is coming out. I would love for you guys to come to my online party. Okay, so it's a natural thing. It's not just a like, oh, I'm just joining your group, so you come to my party and buy my book. All right, so plan ahead, plan ahead. Let's see here. Again, practice autographs, because you are going to be sending out, even for an online, people will be buying your books and they're going to want copies from you. So make sure that you are ready to sign all of those books, and you can sign them ahead because I know for a fact that my wrist hurts when I sign a lot. So you can start signing those babies like as soon as you get them. You're going to want to order a banner, a poster again. And part of the reason is when you're doing your live, if you're going to go on at some point, so you're going to maybe want that book banner right in the background of where you're sitting so people can see it. Okay? It's just kind of a nice little reminder. Besides, those banners and posters can be used at other events. So it's not going to be just a one-time thing. We've used them hundreds of times. Same thing, somebody might call you with their credit card and want you to process their payment and send out their book. So have a way to, even if you're doing a at home or an online, party, to do that. Also have a file document in your event that people can sign up for your newsletter. Ask a friend to hostess. Jonna did my online, and she did a fantastic job. And she would ask questions like every 15 minutes or so. One of the questions, like the last one we did was for, I think, my 4th novel, for the full-length novel, not the cozies. And we, one of the questions she asked was, how has Darlene's books touched your life? And I mean, you should have seen how many people commented on how the books actually impacted them and changed things for them. So you want to ask questions, you want to get people engaged and interacting with your online release party. So also, you can go ahead and send out the press release for this as well. We did door prizes for my online party. We had gift cards, we had little things, and we gave one away for games and for answering questions, and did some random drawings and that kind of thing. One of the things is, Jonna said, you don't want to say win on Facebook, so don't use win, okay? It's a random giveaway because Facebook rules with winning something, okay? You don't want to raise any red flags. You don't want to get in Facebook jail right before your release party. It would not be good. And of course, I stress again, do not give away your books as prizes. Don't give away your books as prizes. You want them to buy that. Other stuff. We did a kind of a grand prize winner for my last one, where we had I was, I like tea, I like drinking tea, so we did like a tea basket with tea and some mugs or a mug or two, and just some, like, maybe some cookies, or I don't know, just things that go. We had this grand prize basket that we gave away randomly to one of the attendees. It was fun. It was a fun thing. You'll want some 3-dimensional promo of your book to use in your, when you're putting out, hey, I'm having a book release party. I'd love for you to come. You can make a little graphic in Canva and use a 3-dimensional picture of your book to just, again, to raise awareness. Let's see here. Go live. Make sure that you're doing some live in your release party. So it's like, hey everybody, thanks for coming. I'm so glad you're here. You really made my day. I really appreciate you. You got the idea. You want to go in, you want to be real, you want to be relatable. Then I skipped that one a minute ago, so I went back to it. All right. Then this one is a huge one. As you noticed today, I did not do this very well. Make sure your day is distraction free. You do not want, a ton of stuff going on all around you, dogs barking, that kind of stuff. You want to be able to keep your mind on what you're doing without without distraction. So your head needs to really be in the game. Granted, we work from home, so it's it happens, but as best to your ability that you can, create a distraction-free environment. Create a buzz. There's you can have on your Facebook, you can have an ask me anything. You can even pin it to the top. Ask me anything. You can read an excerpt on Facebook Live. You can have a book trailer made. So these are things that you can do to create buzz. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Back to the games. Randomized prizes. Don't use win because it goes against Facebook. All right, here's just some game ideas that you can actually take and utilize. Now, mind you, these are just some ideas. You think outside the box. You could probably come up with 100 different things. Jonna and I were just working on this part of it here this afternoon, and we're like, okay, what could we do? What I did was trivia. But some of these are really a lot of fun. And I think Jonna, you're going to talk about a couple of these, I think. Let's see here. Story prompts. Story prompts, so the participants create a story. So you might give ask them to write a paragraph in the comments and just give them a scenario and have them write a little prompt about it and then draw a name for the winner. Complete the sentence. It's kind of like this game Jonna has. It's called Cards Against Humanity. And so you can write a few, and then in the post, and then in the comments, they can complete the sentence. And again, just a fun thing to engage people. You can use Facebook polls if you are writing never mind, we'll go down there. Facebook polls, I don't know. Jonna, what are we going to do with fiction on Facebook polls? Are you there? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, you can use polls to, vote on your favorite character, talk about the next book. It could be anything. It's just multiple choice options. So.
Okay. And then your favorite character and why. This is assuming that they've read your book, if it's a fiction book, or it could be a favorite character from a different book. You could ask, hey, what's your favorite character from some book you've read? And it's like I said, you can see that this is just used to engage people, to get them actively participating, because that's what you want to do. The Kiss Killer Keep, this is kind of interesting. Jonna found this online, this idea, and it was basically a character. Should we kiss him? Should we kill him? Or should we keep him? Kind of thing. So for writing romance, it might be a fun thing to do if you do that. Guess the character name, and then we remove all the vowels. So like you're only writing consonants. It's like in the post itself, and then people can use those consonants to figure out what the character name in the book. It's just another fun active thing. Let's see, sharing memes or GIFs to do with your book, or you give them a topic. Let's see, you can tell stories from the book. Create a 3-word story, and then each person, you've seen those where they write in the comments 3 more words, and by the end of it, you have a whole crazy weird story. Favorite business quote, I think I meant to have that under nonfiction, but that's okay. So we'll just pretend it's down there. Crossword search, Jonna, I'm just, you know how my brain works. Crossword search, I've never done it, but comment the first 3 words you see. Explain, Jonna.
Yeah, everything popular, they'll be around a topic, and it's typically like, oh, what's the first 3 words you see? And they can all be words that are related to your book in there.
Oh, okay. So actually having the crossword done ahead of time and then putting it up there. I got it. I'm there now. All right. Let's see. And talk about the next one too. First to comment.
First to comment, as an example, like people will do where a bunch of people are commenting. So an example would be like Manic Monday. So the first person to The last person to comment manic before I say Monday would win a prize. So everybody's commenting the same word on a post before the party host comments the final word. So whoever the last comment is would win a prize.
Huh. Okay. And see, lots of ideas if you haven't guessed already. All right. And then what's the challenge style games?
You can challenge different people to, if your book is, how to draw, you could challenge people to have a drawing contest and take a picture
Okay.
of their drawing attempts, or, things like that, just around your topic.
Okay. So like somebody with a cookbook could say, okay, recreate your best recipe and take a picture for the party, and we want to see it.
Exactly. Or if it's, dog related or pet related, everyone post a picture of your pet.
Gotcha.
The funniest, the one with the most likes will win at the end. So something that's challenge related, that's kind of a little mini contest, between
Okay.
people.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Then we're going to move on to nonfiction, and I'm going to just take that little favorite business quote there and stick it here. With nonfiction, a lot of times you're looking at entrepreneurs, you're looking at people writing their own stories, you're looking at which is memoirs, biographies, autobiographies, how-tos, educational, and usually there's a whole plethora of quotes that would go along with the topic that you're writing. So say it's gardening, and so you tell people in one post, hey, everyone, I want you to write your favorite gardening quote in the comments, and I'm going to draw one name at random for a prize. Okay, so that's what that would be like. Then trivia questions. I did use these quite a bit. And then of course you can also ask questions like previous books. So for my last one, I'd had, quite a few books out. So I was able to ask questions about my books that I'd already published to see who was paying attention, who remembered the books that I've already written. So that kind of thing. So on topic related polls, you could do the same thing. You could do them lighthearted. They could be serious. They could be, what is your, least favorite ingredient to put in guacamole? Like, I do not like to put cumin in my guacamole. I just don't. I don't like the taste of it. And so, but a lot of people do. They love it. Just odd things. Just they could just be weird little tidbits and things, again, to keep people engaged, because that's really what you want to be doing. Featuring partnerships, sponsors, same, we talked about that already. Providing on-topic resources. So if you are writing a book about ADHD, you might want to provide some links and outside resources that people could go to study up on the subject more. Okay. So your AMA, sharing the why behind your book. So when I talk about why I wrote my first book or the subject matter, one of my books, I might talk about my grandmother who was abused by my grandfather. So it's really opening up who you are and sharing your why. Being transparent with people, that makes you so much more relatable and approachable. Again, the crossword, and I don't know why she put vote on your favorite. Vote on your favorite, Jonna. What did you include that for? I don't remember that one.
It's just like it's kind of like the poll, but people can vote, so it's like a multiple choice option. So if you're doing a cookbook, you can have, pancakes or waffles, and people can cast their vote. It's just another engagement.
Oh, okay. Just something. Okay, so hardcover, softcover, or whatever. I gotcha. All right. Now, after the party is done, whether it be an online party or an in-person party, there may be things that you have to mail. So Susie, who lives in Utah, couldn't be at your online party or your in-person party, but she wants to order 3 books. All right. So you're going to want to get everything prepped and ready so you get them all shipped. You can do media mail if it's just books. If you're including anything else with your book, you cannot use media mail. So you'd have to use priority or just first class mail. Send thank you cards. Send thank you cards out. Mail out the prizes that were won. And ask people to video themselves opening their books, opening their prizes, opening their swag. So those types of things that you are going to be mailing, ask them to video themselves doing it and post it on social media and tag you in it. Make sure they're tagging you, okay? And then you're going to want to set a date with your photographer to go over the pictures, just so you can pick and get those pictures ready to start sharing on social media. You're going to want to keep the party going. All right. And that is pretty much the checklist.